So a few months ago, I read a book that completely changed the way I think about trading, but also about how we build systems and how we solve problems and how we make decisions in the real world. This book is called Inside the Black Box, and even though it's technically about quantitative trading, it has a lot to teach us all, whether you're a trader, a founder, or just someone trying to make better decisions in their life. For those of you that are new here, my name is Mark Anderson, construction worker turned zero DT hedge fund manager. I've sold over $50 million in zero DT premium and traded through more than 1,000 consecutive market days. I make videos about zero DT trading strategies so that you can make smarter moves, build successful strategies, and have the right mindset to build your wealth. And in this video, we're diving into a few lessons from a book that completely reframed my thinking around systems, complexity, and edge. Also, those lessons are far beyond just trading. The real edge isn't the formula. So what is a black box? Think of a conveyor belt. On the left, you see different parts moving into the black box. On the right, you see a finished widget of some sort coming out. But you don't see what's happening in between. You don't fully understand the logic inside that black box. The internal workings are hidden or opaque. The book, Inside the Black Box, breaks down quantitative trading into three mechanics. 1, alpha mechanics, the return you're aiming for. 2, risk mechanics, how you manage randomness. 3, executional mechanics, how and what size you deploy that idea. This matters because most traders obsess over alpha, but ignore the interaction between alpha, risk, and the execution of that. As he puts it in the book, a black box is only as good as your understanding of what goes into that and what comes out of that black box. And here's where most people miss the real edge. It's not in any single part of that black box, it's in the interaction between those parts. That's called the emergence. When simple rules combined in the right way produce complex behaviors that you can have prediction over in the future by looking at each part alone. This is why a strategy that looks basic on paper can outperform a highly complex one in actual execution. It's not about the complexity, it's about the synergy between those parts. And that's why we apply the scientific method to our strategy design. You don't just throw 12 inputs into a backtest and hope it spits out a miracle. Every strategy should start with a hypothesis. Then you isolate one variable, you test it, you observe it, and you iterate upon it. And eventually, you start to see patterns. That's how edge is developed. The good ones don't skip this. The great ones don't rush this. Pattern recognition is one of the most underrated skills in trading, not in the chart pattern sense, but in identifying reoccurring systems of behavior. Similar to this, what conditions tend to precede drawdowns? What days of the week or market conditions tend to overperform or underperform? What execution mistakes repeat across different strategies? The more patterns you can detect, the more effectively you can intervene. But here's the trap. It's the systematic bias. These are the mental shortcuts and assumptions we bring into our testing, things like overfitting to recent data, cherry-picking trades, or ignoring adverse correlations because we're emotionally attached to the outcomes. I love this quote from the book. The challenge is not in solving the problem, but in understanding the problem itself. And many traders never understand the problem because they never questioned the bias baked into their system already. Another important takeaway is when the author says, change within a system often takes longer than expected because of the inertia created by the existing relationships of the system, which is even more of a reason to not strategy hop over time. You look for a phenomenon that seems durable, then you break it down, and then you test it forward for months, not hours, because that's where conviction comes from in that process. The intimacy of edge. Here's one of the biggest takeaways from the book, and it mirrors my own experience. Your edge isn't how fancy your model is. It's in the depth of your understanding of that model. If you can't go through 3 layers deep when someone asks you, why does this work? You're gambling. You're not system building. You don't know it well enough or to size it, to trust it, or to scale it. It's like a cop interviewing a suspect. If the cop asks more details about the story and it falls apart, that person doesn't really know what they're talking about. Either they're lying to you or they're lying to themselves. The same goes for trading systems. The real power of a system lies not in its parts, but in the interaction and relationship between those parts. Understanding that interaction is where you find the mastery in your trading system. Why strategies fail to scale. Most systems don't break because the signal is bad. They break because the relationship between the components weren't well defined. One assumption didn't hold, a correlation broke down, a hidden dependency cracked under pressure, and suddenly the whole thing unraveled. Or as Narang puts it, transformation occurs not by changing individual parts, but by altering their underlying relationship. This is another example of emergence. The danger isn't in one piece, it's in how the system as a whole behaves when conditions shift. So you don't fix it by swapping out indicators. You fix it by re-architecting how your strategies interact with one another. That's why I build portfolios of uncorrelated trades, because they create resilience through balance. And if you want to dive deeper into that, check out my video on building uncorrelated portfolios. I'll link it below, because when pieces work together, they reduce the randomness and increase the profitability of your returns. Designing for stability. A strong trading system doesn't live in perfect stasis. It lives in what the book calls dynamic equilibrium. It's not rigid, it's not static, it's a moving balance, always adapting, but still grounded in rules. This is also where most traders fail. They want a perfect system today. They want to set it and forget it forever. But when they need it to be a sustainable system, they cannot evolve it over time. One that can adapts without collapsing. Narang even goes as far as saying that understanding systems requires us to step outside of our comfort zone and view the bigger picture. And part of the bigger picture is mental performance. If you can't stick to your process, if you jump from one setup to the next one every single week, you're never going to give the system enough time to react in its own stability, which is why conviction and emotional discipline is part of that edge too. Inside the black box made me a better trader, not because it taught me new tactics, but because it sharpened my lenses. It reminded me that trading is about engineering, not guessing. The systems can be elegant without being overbuilt. That randomness can be managed, but only when we understand the relationships that shape it. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below and let me know what concept hit home for you the most. And if you want more deep dives on how we build resilient trading systems, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you guys on the next one.